everyone. It's another beautiful day in the city of Lagos, here in Nigeria. This is another sport episode of Sport Arena, where we'll be bringing to your fingertips as it is happening all over the world, in the world of sports, in the world of tennis, in the world of wrestling and boxing. I remain my humble self, Isaac Ajiwoye, your regular host. Join me as we unfold today all what has transpired in the UEFA Nations League across the globe, even the international friendlies within African countries, within themselves, all of this. Join me and welcome to this episode of this afternoon. As I welcome my guest into the program. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You are looking gorgeous this afternoon.
It's the last day.
What's the secret?
Like I said, it's the last day.
Yeah, welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me for today.
We can see a lot of wonderful and dramas that have occurred over the weekend, and even as at last night, Germany, England.
Well,
It was a tug of war.
within the past few days, England have played two matches.
Hmm.
Lost one, draw one. The coach of the Three Lions, Gerard Southgate, his days are numbered the way it is. If not for the World Cup, that is just about 50 something days away from today. I believe maybe we have gotten the sack.
But looking at the performance of England and Germany yesterday, that match ending 3-3 draw. What can you say? How do you see the match? Looking at the statistics.
Looking at the statistic of the match started, like I said, if not for the World Cup, I believe Gerard Southgate would have been shown the way out by now. Out of match of six,
Hmm.
they have played six matches. They've not won any match. They only dropped three.
And which impression are we having towards the almighty World Cup coming?
Within the space of how many days? That yesterday's match that against Germany was 3-3. Before Germany match, they lost to Italy 1-0. While Germany
Towards that minute.
while Germany lost to Hungary 1-0. The Hungarians, the Hungarians went to Germany with the determination that the German machine are always very good. But with these days of technology, everybody wants to be involved, and football have changed
Wow.
also.
Wow.
And Hungary could work all the way to Germany and defeat Germany 1-0.
I think you have much about what to say concerning this UEFA Nations League.
Yeah,
All what transpired all over the weekend and all of
UEFA
those things.
Champions League, we've seen that this should be the third one going. The first one was won by Portugal, yes, if I'm not mistaken. Then the second one was this. I can't remember the person that won the second one. This is the third edition, and the way it is, apart from Holland that have maintained their stand, Holland in his group is topping the group.
Wow.
Within the week, they defeated Poland 2-0, defeated one other team. Within the week, so many other big teams were beaten too. France were beaten by Denmark.
Wow.
Hungary defeated England. Hungary defeated Germany.
Germany.
Italy is a powerhouse too. Italy defeated England. And yesterday, Italy defeated Hungary 2-0 to climb to the top of the table. As at now, Italy has 11 points, followed by Hungary 10 points. Germany is 7 points, and England is rooted at the bottom of the table with 3 points.
Wow. That honestly that is not impressive at all.
England anywhere.
Anywhere.
There's only one person that is qualifying automatically, while that person, the second person will play playoff to see if he can still meet up with it.
Not even a country of like England that everybody is looking up to, where
England
the
and
Premier League is
this
being played and shown all over the world.
is just a divine intervention that saved their necks yesterday.
For them to have drawn
Just
the
3-3.
German machine with 3-3 draw.
Harry Maguire started the match. Like he's not been used by Man U for some time now because of his form. And as it is yesterday, in a space of how many minutes,
Wow.
England conceded 2 goals.
Wow.
So for England to come back to play
Hmm.
a 3-3 draw with Germany
Yes.
was a plus for them that yesterday.
Let's quickly look at about the highlights of the scores, the score line of what transpired in the UEFA Nations League yesterday. I think you have all of them with you.
Yesterday's match, Montenegro were defeated at home by Finland 2-0. Romania beat Bosnia Herzegovina 4-1, while Georgia had a better of played better. Georgia were away and they won 2-1. North Macedonia were defeated at home by Bulgaria 0-1, and Estonia defeated San Marino 0-4. Also, there were international friendlies that happened yesterday too. In Africa, in Asia, and in Europe. In Africa, Ethiopia played a 2-2 draw with Sudan. Syria played a 0-1 loss to Iraq, while Jordan beat Oman 1-0. For Africa, if not that CAF have postponed and moved forward the next AFCON by a year, which is 2024. If not for that, as the European are playing their
We're supposed to
European
have
Nation League,
our
we
African
are
Cup
having
of
our
Nations
own
qualifier also.
qualifiers.
You're right, I agree with you.
So
I agree
since we
with
are
you.
not the African qualifying, teams have to take these friendlies, especially those ones that are going to work up.
And
In
that
a
also draws
space,
my attention to our home country, our dear country, Nigeria, playing against Algeria tonight.
tonight there's a friendly match between Nigeria and Algeria online. Algeria. Within the weekend, we saw the Nigerian Super Eagles playing a 2-2 draw with the Algerian Chan team. That's the home base.
The home based team, yes, yes.
Today, they are playing with the
Senior
fourth
team,
team, which is comprised of the home base and the foreign teams, where we have the likes of
Iwobi.
Iwobi playing. And as it is, Iwobi have played 59 matches for Nigeria.
So they make
far,
it
so
69,
and today we'll make it
60. The
if he
60th
plays
match.
today, we'll make it 60th
Well,
match.
playing for the national team. Wow, that's interesting.
We know that he started playing for England. He played for England under 16, under 17, and under 18 before now switching to play for the senior national team. So he will be coming from a family of football. His uncle, JJ Okocha,
Justin JJ Okocha,
is still in the minds of every Nigerian football lovers
of course.
for his creative ball dribbling.
Those are legends in the world
He's
of
now a
sport,
legend. So
football.
football will sail in their blood. Before JJ Okocha came, his elder brother, Emmanuel Okocha, was the first person to play for the national team. He was part of the national team that came second in Algiers 1990.
Wow, wow.
So for them having a three generations that have played for Super Eagles, it shows that that family has football talent
And they have also contributed positively
to the
towards the
development
development
of
of this
football.
country. Yes, yes. And away from that,
So
we
like
could
today,
see,
we still have
yes,
some matches that is going on in the European Nations League. Portugal will be facing Spain. Switzerland will be playing Czech Republic. Northern Ireland will play Armenia. Ukraine versus Scotland. Sweden versus Slovenia. Greece versus Northern Ireland. And Kosovo versus France. And in this very match, we can
wow.
see that Ukraine is meeting
Again.
They played last week, in which Scotland defeated Ukraine 2-0.
Wow.
And we can see that this same Ukraine team and Scotland played the playoff of the World Cup qualifying.
You are
And
correct.
Ukraine defeated Scotland to pick a space
So, yes, of course.
for the World Cup,
I recall very well.
knocking Scotland out of the World Nations League. Scotland didn't want to be beaten twice. So in the first leg, they won 2-0. But we don't know what's going to happen today.
We don't know
Although
what is
for
going to
today,
happen tonight.
Ukraine is not yet playing their matches in Ukraine. They are still playing outside Ukraine because of the invasion of,
Invasion of
which I
Russia
don't want to
and
talk about.
yeah, exactly.
So today we're going to have a tough match in Portugal between Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, Czech. Those are the tough match. And on the friendly aspect, there are international friendlies too.
Yes.
Brazil is playing Tunisia.
Wow. 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 In
Brazil
preparation of the World
Cup. Brazil have played Ghana 3-4 days ago, which they thrashed Ghana 3-0. And in that match, we saw the three new adopted Ghanaians that just came back to play. They've not been part of Ghana's team. They didn't play for the qualifying.
But
But
based
after,
on the appearance in World Cup.
for the fact that Ghana have qualified for World Cup and their biological parent comes from Ghana, they
Wow.
now decide to shift allegiance to Ghana. And they have been admitted into the Ghana's fold. They played the last match. The likes of Inega, Williams, Lamte, and Mohamed Salihu, who was so superb in that match, despite the fact that they still lost 3-2,
Wow.
3-0 to
3-0 down.
almighty Brazil. And today is the turn of Tunisia to play Brazil. Paraguay is playing Morocco. Saudi Arabia is playing USA. South Korea is playing Cameroon. And Nigeria will be playing Algeria.
On international friendly
Friendly
basis.
basis.
But
So that are the matches for
looking
today.
at the analysis, I got you right. Looking at the analysis of what transpired between Brazil and Ghana, based on the international friendly that was just concluded, where Brazil trashed Ghana 3-0. Do you think African countries will go far
Mm,
towards the upcoming
World Cup.
World Cup?
Football is not mathematics.
Of course.
Football is not rocket science. Like I said, in physics, they will tell you the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. In football, the higher you go, the tougher it becomes. And like I said, smaller countries have waken up in terms of football, and we see the likes of countries that are performing magic these days. Football is not something you can just write and say that this will happen. We saw what happened yesterday between Germany and England. We
Yes.
saw what happened between Italy and Hungary. Hungary defeated England and also defeated Germany.
Germany.
But Spain, Italy didn't give them that space.
Exactly.
So in football, we see that most of these countries that are playing football, these friendlies, they are playing it based on the fact that, take for instance, Brazil played Ghana and they are playing Tunisia. It shows that there's an African team in their group in the World Cup. So they want to use this friendly match to test run the strength of their opponent
Wow.
that they
Just
will
to
meet.
test strong
The strength
the
of
strength of the opposition country, whereby we have a lot of international friendlies, international World Cup qualifiers has been
the World Cup
elapsed,
qualifier have been lapsed. So
and
we are waiting
we
for the
are
World Cup
waiting
in
for the World Cup
53 days.
preparation. In preparation of that World Cup coming in Qatar,
Yes.
these are the warm-up. These are the analysis of what we are going to get. And don't be surprised, like my colleague rightly said, football is not in mathematics. You have to go there and work it out by yourself. It's not something that you have an opinion of, okay, this thing will be trash and this you don't underrate on anything. Like and away from that, a lot of underway transfer is ravaging the air, while the UEFA Nations League is also on air.
The transfer will always be having the transfer talk. The transfer will be generally.
Yes, during the summer.
So for now, the coaches, the sport directors have so far waged their game so far
Hmm.
to see how they have been able to. And in the process, have discovered that they need more new, fresh leg. So it is now time for you to start looking at who will replace this player. This player's contract is almost ending, and by so time, he's going to be a free agent, and he can move at any time. Who do you see as a replacement? The person you see as a replacement, is he willing to come? If he's willing to come, is his club willing to allow him? If his club is not willing to allow him, what is the next alternative
To do.
to do?
What
So
is the
that
next
is where you are now
alternative?
seeing all these transfer talks going on as at now. Despite the fact that we know that there's not going to be any transfer for now except till January.
Yes, there is not going to be any transfer for now except till January.
So anybody
That
that
draws
is
my
going
attention
on
to
transfer
Chelsea
is going
because
on
there's
loan.
a lot of speculation going around concerning policy.
Yeah.
Having talk with Juventus because I've seen
There's a
that
different
talk and
there's a different things having talks and
yes,
that talk
coming to reality.
to reality. Some talks end up in deadlock.
Wow. Some
We
talks end in deadlock.
deadlock. We've seen where a player is willing to go. The club is not willing to release. Like we've seen this new boy on in Man U, this striker that played their last match.
Okay,
They just bought from Ajax. He
okay.
wanted to go. Ajax didn't want to release him. He decided not to go for training. At the end of the day, before the end of the transfer market, Ajax have no choice
Now to
than
release him
to release him to go.
because he has lose interest in the Ajax.
Ajax. So
Wow.
once a player lose interest in the team, there's no need forcing the player to stay, except the team that is coming for him is not meeting up with the demands of what the former teams want before they
Like I
allow
also
him to
rightly
go.
said, Borussia Dortmund showing an interest in Keita of Liverpool.
Liverpool.
What can you say about this?
Keita,
If
Nabi
Keita should
Keita,
also release, if Liverpool should also release Keita to Borussia Dortmund, as the Liverpool did in releasing Sadio
the
Mane,
money.
looking at the
Uh,
tremendous impact towards the recent
uh,
concluded
Sadio
international friendly.
Mane issue, like I will keep on blaming Liverpool for allowing Sadio Mane to leave. They felt Salah is the main man, but now we now sees what
Sadio
Sadio
Mane
Mane
is
used to
doing,
doing
yeah,
in Liverpool.
and
So that alone now is affecting Liverpool.
that front
If you
line,
check the table,
yes.
the league table now, Liverpool is somewhere around 8 or 9. This is not Liverpool of 5 years ago. Liverpool of 5 years ago will be first, second, third, first, second, third. But today, Liverpool is between 9, 10.
Liverpool of 5 years ago should be within first top four in England Premier League. That also draws my attention to Chelsea. Pulisic having talked with Juventus. Is it a good time for him to relocate? As Chelsea stands for now?
Like I said earlier,
Mm,
all these are
speculations
the
around.
speculation. Them are just kind of making headlines because maybe they saw a players with an agent or with somebody from another club. They didn't even know what they discussed.
Mm.
The conclusion will be he wants to move to that team. That's why so person is talking to him.
Unknowingly that Kante is also in talk with Juventus,
Juventus,
having as a
Juventus,
replacement.
Juventus wanted to exchange Kante with a player that Chelsea is in love with, but that failed. And now Chelsea wants to sell him in order to get what they want. So, like I said earlier, it's too early to talk about transfers now because the transfer window just closed.
Just
And the
close.
next transfer window will be in January, precisely from 31st
Wow.
December.
Wow.
So anybody that is talking of transfer as at this time is just a news.
Okay. And also to also brought to your notice that Tony Cruz in an extension for 1 year, another extra contract with Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid.
That's a plus
Tony Cruz is not getting younger anymore.
anymore. Yes. I
And
agree.
his contract is about to end in Madrid.
Wow.
But for the fact that he's a good midfielder, he still have his eyes on the ball, and Ancelotti still sees him as somebody that can still contribute to the success of Ilio Branco's Real Madrid.
Wow.
So for that, they are contemplating giving him a 1 year extension
Wow.
for his contract. So any player that is good, the team will always want to give him another opportunity.
And on another note, Barcelona is also in bid for Bernardo Silva to come to Barca, meaning a defensive midfielder. What was the take on this?
Like I keep saying, all whatsoever we are getting
Hmm.
for now, in respect of transfer, are speculations.
Speculations around on the
Transfer
corner. As
market will
far as we are
open
concerned,
in January.
yes,
So
yes.
until January, before we know who is moving and who is not moving. The last transfer window, we have so many speculations until die minutes.
Wow,
Those ones that materialized, we saw them, and those ones that did not materialize, we saw them. So for now, every team having played 3 to 4, 5 matches, have seen where they lacked and where they should strengthen. So in respect of that, the sporting directors have already started looking at the possible replacement and the possible add up to their team. So
good.
that's why we are having all this transfer speculation as at now.
Wow. Speculations around the corner, transference around the corner. It's still undergoing underway ground. Let's put it that way. But as we speak, all respective clubs and teams are returning to their normal team over the weekend.
After today,
After today, tomorrow,
tomorrow is the
players
last day.
has even been returning back to their
Tomorrow
various
is the
destination
last
teams.
day of the FIFA free weekend.
Free weekend, yes,
So
yes.
after today, some people are playing, depending on the country you are. Some people, their matches will be at the tail morning of tomorrow, early
Wow,
morning of
of
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So most of them, the moment they are done, they will be back to their clubs. Although in between, we've seen players being sent back or returning back to their club. In Nigeria, we saw Tosekong, the vice captain, returning back to Watford
Wow.
because he had an injury. And the same thing happens to
Mohamed
Ndidi.
Salah also.
Ndidi returns back to Leicester to go and prepare for Leicester Nottingham Forest crash,
Yeah.
which is coming up next week, Monday. We
Wow.
saw Mo Salah returning back to
Liverpool.
Liverpool to go and continue his training. So
And
after
also
the
all
FIFA
over the
week,
weekend, don't also forget Tottenham Arsenal will be facing
all,
each other. A derby
so
rival.
everybody after playing for your country will wants to return back to his club fitted so that they can be able to be part of the club weekend matches that is coming up. And
Looking,
this weekend, we're
yes.
going to have a lot at stake because
Hmm.
the reason is after this weekend matches, next week, Tuesday, will be the
UEFA
night of the champion, the
Champions
UEFA
League.
Champions League.
UEFA Champions League.
And the Champions League, we've already seen that some teams are not living up to the biddings. Uh, the likes of Barcelona
Hmm.
that lost to Bayern Munich
We'll be
will be
facing
facing Inter
Inter
Milan
Milan
in San
in San
Siro.
Siro. Wow.
So that match will be so tough for Inter Milan.
Meanwhile, Chelsea
Chelsea will be meeting AC
AC
Milan.
Milan.
So that's going to be a tough match. And we've seen that
Chelsea
Chelsea
meeting
have
AC
played
Milan.
2 matches,
They,
draw
they
one,
draw one
lost
and they
one.
lost one
So the
against
third one
Dynamo
will be
Zagreb.
almighty AC Milan at San Siro. So
Mm.
anything can happen.
At the end of
And
90 minutes in that game, what was our expectation?
our expectation,
Looking at the performance,
I don't want to put
the previous
my
performance
neck
of Chelsea.
on any team. Chelsea meeting AC Milan will be Oliver Giroud versus his former team. So when you have teams like that, it's always tug of war.
It's a tug of
And at the
war.
end of the day, it is the better team that is more serious and wanted the 3 points that goes on with the 3 points.
Wow.
And if after 4 matches you can't get at least 6 points, that means you are automatically out of the group stage. And this year's league, Champions League, and whatsoever will be played to some extent. When the World Cup starts, all those matches will be suspended for the World Cup. So if you can't gather your points now,
yes,
there's nothing you can do after the World Cup.
Champions League unfold itself next week again. That's Tuesday, Wednesday. While we have our Europa League on Thursdays. And don't forget, we have our various leagues: Premiership, La Liga, Italia, Serie A, and the Bundesliga kickstart this weekend as we unfold. And Nigeria, Algeria tonight. Despite the fact that Nigeria is not appearing in the upcoming World Cup, tonight's match against Algeria, what's really happening? What are we expecting? Despite despite the absence of some essential players among our team, in the likes of Ndidi, in the likes of Ahmed Musa, and the
Ahmed
rest.
Musa is still part of the team.
He's still part of it, but not that functioning unlike before.
Yes. The reason is Ahmed Musa age is on his side. He's not getting younger again. We know Ahmed Musa that played at the age of 19, he has already started playing for the Super Eagles. Ahmed Musa owns one of the records as one of the top highest goal scorer in the Nigerian Professional League.
But you know the question I keep asking myself, I recall that I always recall and refer to Olympic 1996. Can Nigeria still have that same? You breathe.
That squad
That
squad will have taken the world by storm.
In the life of Sunday Olise.
If not for the fact that the Abacha regime truncated our football development by suspending the national team from defending the Nations Cup they won they won the Nations Cup in 1994 in
1994.
Tunisia. Yes.
Wow. Tunisia 94.
And the part of that team, because that team was one of the youngest team we've ever had.
Because
Olise was just
comparing those teams.
Then you now blend it with the Olympic team.
Oh no.
For the fact that we were unable to go and defend the 1998, then it was used to be 2 years, 94. Okay, we were unable to go for the 96 that was hosted in South Africa because of the death of Ken Saro-Wiwa.
Wow.
The hanging of Saro-Wiwa. So that's alone, that singular act suppress and kill the development of our football.
Because I do recall that time we were playing Brazil, within the space of how many minutes, Nigerians were able to come up due to the impact of the followers and our supporters. And looking at that squad, Finidi George,
Finidi George
was not part of there. Sunday Olise,
Sunday Olise,
Tijani Babangida, Victor Ipeba,
And like I said, you
all of those
see,
ones. I was
we
like,
have a team that was blended. If you watch that match, after Brazil were leading 3-1 during the
yeah,
second half, then the coach now introduced Ikpeba.
yes, I recall vividly.
And the next thing the Brazilian coach did was to stand up and shout at the defense line. That guy coming in, watch him. Why? Because Ikpeba happens to be a two-legged player.
Yes,
A player that can use both right
and
and left
left.
equally. And we saw what happened in the space of how many minutes?
Can Nigeria still can we still not provide that same set of players in this
We
country?
can provide that same, we have them in abundance, but the system is killing. You can see how many people have just coming back to start playing for the Super Eagles. And these are people that will have played for our under 16 and under 17 and under 20 teams. Check out the teams that won the under 16 team for the England team.
Hmm.
That same team progressed to under 20 and they did the same thing. Check out the list. That team is made up mostly of Nigerian name. We have the like of Salako,
Hmm.
Saka, Bukayo Saka. They were in that team. Look at them today. But Kayo is now playing for
For
England
England
national
national
team.
team, I was
And like
wondering.
I always tell my children will be laughing when I say, the moment I'm watching Saka play, if he score, I'll clap for him. If he doesn't score, I'll say, if it's England now, they will call him Black Monkey for losing a goal. But the moment he starts scoring for England, they won't call him names. That is just so unfair that England have not been to the European Nations Cup final for a long time since the 90, is it 92 that Denmark that didn't qualify
Hmm.
came in to replace Yugoslavia, and along the line they went and won the match.
Nigeria Algeria tonight
So
international friendly in
for
preparing
the team
of
that have Bukayo
our national
Saka
team.
that took them to the
Yes.
final of the last, only for them to lose to Italy, and the English fans started booing Bukayo Saka and Rashford for losing penalties. It was because they lost penalty. They now remember that they are black and they start giving them names.
But
That's not
at
that's
the being
not the
is
first
Ronaldo.
time. That's
Something
not
of
the
such
first.
won't occur at all.
No, that's not the first time we'll be having racism chants on players. I remember vividly that Samuel Eto'o during his playing days was called Black Monkey, and
Hmm.
he scored a goal, and somebody from the fans stand up and stone him with a banana,
Wow.
and he picked it up, peel it, and start eating it. You call me a black monkey, and you said it's monkey that eats banana, so let me eat the banana for you to see. But when it comes to the pitch, I'm a footballer.
Of
That's your own
course.
business. With
Of
whatsoever name you want
course.
to call it.
Of course.
And as it is now, we've been shouting, making noise about racism in football. No matter the color you are, we were created by God.
Yes.
Your climate make it
So different
different
to
for
each
you
other.
to have the color you are having, and my climate makes me to have the color I'm having. So I don't see anything bad in being black, yellow, black. The most
And
important
on
thing,
this note,
we
let
are
me also
all
seize the
human beings.
opportunity to urge our government, especially the Nigerian Football Federation, to always get it right whenever Nigeria is having any matches. We
Mm,
must always get it right. Looking at the performance of the international countries all over the world, in the likes of Portugal, where we have Cristiano Ronaldo, in the life of Spain, where we have in those days Salvia and Iniesta, in the lives of Argentina, where we have Messi. Those are the legends in the era of sport and football. So here in
Talking of,
Nigeria,
let me just come in there.
yes,
Talking of sport, football development in Nigeria.
on the 30th of this month, I believe that should be on Friday,
Okay.
in Benin City, Edo State, the Nigerian Football Federation National Assembly would come up. That is, if the court injunction does not stop the election.
Wow.
The tenure of Amaju Pinnick is supposed to end on the 30th. And we've had so many people struggling, hustling, campaigning to become the next NFF president.
President.
And this have warranted somebody going to court to stop the election.
NFF president or no NFF president, here in Nigeria, we need a substantive and
We
a
need
very
a
potential candidate that can at least
move our football
move our
forward.
football generation to
And
the
like I
next
keep
level
telling people, Nigeria has what it takes to rule the world of football
in all ramifications.
in all ramifications.
In
If
all
Real
ramifications.
Madrid can come to Nigeria and start a football academy in Nigeria,
Cost us
Barcelona
in anything in this
is coming to
country.
Nigeria to come
Honestly,
and start
it
a
baffles me
football
when I
academy.
see something of
It
such.
shows that Nigeria have what it takes to rule the world of football. And if our sport administrators will allow peace to reign, I see Nigerian football going higher. And before I cut this off, I want to use this opportunity to facilitate and wish the Nigerian Flamingos, that is the Nigerian under-17 female team,
Yes.
tutored by Coach Bankole Olowokere, to make sure that the Nigerian flag fly high in India come next month's under-17 World Cup. The teams played a very good qualifying series.
Wow. I saw
They didn't lose
the
any match.
yes, yes, I saw it also.
And I believe this will take them to the World Cup to shine and outshine all other countries that are there.
And we wish
Nigeria
them a
is
very
leading the pack of Tanzania and Morocco. Morocco is going for the first time. Tanzania is going for the first time. Nigeria has been there
yes,
with the likes
before,
of
yes.
Ghana and Cameroon. But
Exactly.
this time around, the smaller countries have
Also
decided to
impacting
make
now.
an impact,
Yes.
in which it only gave room for Nigeria team to lead them to the World Cup. And I believe the other two African countries, with this Nigerian Flamingos, will make African continent proud in India.
Yes, and on this note, I also seize the opportunity to inform everybody to join us all over the weekend again, when all the countries who will be facing each other at their own different continents, or in the likes of England or English Premier League will be kickstarting again this weekend. And Bundesliga will be kickstarting in Germany. Italian Serie A will kick off in Italy, while we have the La Liga in the Spanish. Here we are today. I sincerely congratulate you and thank you for obliging our call. Each time we call on you to always appear on our program.
Thank you.
We say a big thank you to you, and we pray that when next we call you, you always oblige our call.
Talking football has become a passion. And like I do tell people, you don't make noise because of your team. Football is a team game,
Yes.
not an individual team.
Football is a team game.
As a team game, we have to be united in order to win matches. So on this note, I say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and talk sports in your place.
Yes, united we stand, divided we fall. That wraps up this program. A very beautiful afternoon to everyone watching us all over the globe. For now, from this end, this year we'll be dropping the curtain and we say goodbye for now.